Greetings. Welcome to the 12 Steps of African American Male Development and Empowerment. This is going to be a series of workshops, a series of lectures designed to increase the empowerment and development of the African American male. Now, I'm going to use two of my publications for these videos. One is the first book that I've written called No Covers to Black Males. And the second publication is No Covers, 43 Days to Self-Development and Empowerment. The African American male in this country, for years I have said, is the most endangered species on the planet of Earth. Dr. Kwanzaa Ganjufu, Dr. Umar Johnson have well documented the demise and the strategic plan to destroy the African American male. What we have come up with, or what God has blessed us to come up with, is this 12-step plan that will help eliminate and redirect our men in the proper direction that they should go with. It's going to help eliminate some of the behaviors that we have. And it's going to help redirect our energies and our passions that we have as African American men in the right direction. My name is Daoud El-Amin. Most of you know me as No Covers. And I'm not an expert. I'm just an African American male who have survived on this planet 53 years. I have 7 boys and 1 daughter. Knock on wood, because I say that in that process I have been able to develop men, not boys. I've been able to take boys and make men out of them. And I've used the principles that I will develop in these videos in the upcoming weeks if you continue to tune in. If you don't have either one of the books, you may need them. I'm going to send you a link where you can get them on Amazon and you can get them on eBay. You can order them direct from me. You just inbox me and I send them directly to you. The books are required reading for the course. However, you can still watch the videos and still get the information, because it's not about you buying my books. It's about us redeveloping the energy of the African American male to the proper direction that it should be in. The things that I see are troublesome to me when it comes to our male development. The behavior of our men is troublesome to me when it comes to our male development. So in this short video right now, I'm going to give you an overview of the 12 steps so that you'll know what you're embarking with. Because when you get on this course now, we're going to deal. There's going to be some heavy topics we're going to talk about. There's going to be some heavy things we talk about. So when you get on this course, we're going to deal. So I want you to know what you're embarking in on. So what I want to do very briefly is I'm going to go to the 12 steps. And we'll go through each one of them and try to give you a brief synapse of where I'm heading with these 12 steps. The 12 steps was designed, let me take you way back real quickly. The 12 steps was designed, a friend of mine, a good compadre of mine, Frankie Roberts, we were at a court one day trying to get a young man, and we were trying to rescue him from the streets. And at that particular time, we were late. I was 24, I think. Frankie was I was 25. Frankie may have been about 24. And I got on the court stand, and I was passionate about having the man come live at my house for 6 months and Frankie's house for 6 months, and we were going to share responsibilities. Well, we was going to save this child. And the lady started asking me all psychological terms. Did I know anything about ADHD, ODD, oppositional defiant disorder? I didn't know what she was talking about. And she told me, she said, Mr. El-Amin, you have a passion, but you have no knowledge of that which you have a passion for. And it hurt me. So at that particular time, I went back to school to UNCW, and I got a degree in psychology. Because the terms she was asking me was psychological terms, and if I wanted to deal in that particular field, I had to know the information I was dealing with. So I went back and got me a degree in psychology, and from that point on, I have been working some 20 years in human service work dealing with especially African American males. I've raised 7 on my own, as I said, And someone asked me at UNCW one day, I was at a lecture, and they said, what makes you an expert on African American males? I said, one, I've been one for 53 years and survived. Two, I've got 7 in pocket, and none of them have been in jail. I've had one that's married. I've got one that's, all of them are working, and all of them are producing in their fields of discovery because of these 12 steps. So let me introduce you to the 12 steps. Step 1. Don't get crossed over by your illusion of success. This is the biggest problem facing African American males. I call this my 2896 rule. Most African males get crossed over by the illusion of success because what's portrayed as success in today's society, most of our men will never reach. Football stardom, TV stardom, comedy stardom, dance stardom, all of these $1 million contracts, $1 million lifestyles. That's what's portrayed as success. But we're crossed over because most of our African American males get crossed over because they believe I can reach that. Very few are going to reach that. So when they reach the success that is success, that they really don't see as success as a basic job where you can take care of your family and feed your children, they don't see it as success. So I teach them in step 1 how not to get crossed over. I don't want them to follow the illusion of these grandiose athletes and movie stars, and everyone's going to make it. Number 2, get rid of the false ideas of who you are. Know thyself. This course takes you through a thorough history. We go through some 50, 60 African American men in history that they might never ever known of. Charles Drew, Lewis Latimer, those people, Elijah McCoy. We go through a course and we study them because I want them to know them like the faces of a dollar bill. If they can take out a dollar bill and show me $100 bill and say that's Benjamin, and they can show me a dollar bill and say that's George Washington, and they can know them, then I want them to know their heroes and heroines that they have in history. So because we don't know yourself, you don't know where you're going. So we teach that. Learn the hidden rules of American culture. Believe it or not, American has hidden rules for the African American males. There are certain things you can do and there are certain things you can't do. And if we don't teach those rules to our young men, they're going to be ever caught behind the enemy lines because they're operating without those hidden rules, and we give it to them in straight format in that class. The hidden rules of the American culture. There's certain things you have to say, certain things you have to do. Y'all call it stepping and fetching if you want to. Or you're going to survive in this system, there are certain hidden rules that you must know and realize when to apply them, when you don't have to apply them. Learn to manage and eliminate self-destructive behaviors. Many of you that have taken this class before, you all know I call this my blunt class. This is a class where I talk about actually the history of marijuana, weed, or the blunt as we called it, the history of it, because there's so much history in it. The crack epidemic was running wild in the 80s and the 90s, and then all of a sudden we made a comeback. But in that comeback, there's certain self-destructive behaviors that if I don't teach you how to manage, I'm not going to tell you just say no, because I know in this generation, y'all going blunt. Y'all going to keep doing what you do. But I'm going to teach you how to manage and eliminate self-destructive behaviors. It's not just with marijuana or drugs, but with everything else that's a self-destructive behavior that's causing you not to do the things and begin to get the things you need out of life. Step number 5, forgive and fix the relationships with your father. Now this is a difficult one. This is where most of my single mothers say pump the brakes, because y'all been single mothers out here so long and y'all don't want me to deal with the father at all. But if you want me to fix your male, and I'm telling you all mothers that sign on to this class that want me to deal with your male, I'm going to deal with his father, because I can't fix him if I don't understand the relationship that he has with his father, and I don't understand the DNA of his father. Because 9 times out of 10, that you hate in him is that hatred that you have for his father. And I have to try to find and forgive and fix that relationship. So in this particular class, I'll let you others know up front, There is a point in this class that I have them write a letter to their fathers. I don't care if he's in prison. I don't care if he's dead. I don't care if you've never seen him before in your life. But they have to realize how to fix those bonds with their father to overcome that disease that's rooted so far in them that they can't perceive in life. So we're going to deal with that. And you mothers that may have a problem when you're dealing with that, then this is not the class for you. Number 6, learn to respect the woman that receive you and your children. We don't use the B word. Learn to respect the woman that conceive you and your children. We don't use the H word or the W word. We don't use any word other than queen to describe the mother of the civilization. That's the only word you should be using. You should be calling her queen. Be it your sister, be it your mother, be it your stepdaughter. It should be queen, because she is the mother of civilization. And once we men understand that, once I can teach you to understand it, once I show you the history of women that have come before you in this class, you will begin to learn and respect the woman who conceived you and the woman that bore your children. Because you can't love your mama and then hate your baby mama. It's impossible. It's an oxymoron. It doesn't work. I love my mother, but I hate the woman who bore children to me. Your mother gave birth to you, and then someone gave you new life. And you're going to hate her? No, you can't do that. So that brings us into step number 7. Step number 7 in the baby mama drama: become a father. If you having baby mama drama, men, it's on you. It's not on the woman. I teach you how to fix that real quick and short. It's a real quick and short class. It's really a one-day class. I can teach you how to fix your baby mama drama, because you only have drama because you're not practicing that which you should practice as it concerns her. Number 8, break the inheriting cycle of incarceration. Cyclical. We go through the new Jim Crow book on this class, and we deal with a lot of issues that we are trying to figure out how to break this prison, the pipeline. We figure out how to work on that. In this class, we figure out how to deal with breaking the inherent incarceration cycle, because many of our fathers been to jail and then we end up going back to jail and following their same lifestyle. We figure out how to break this cyclical process of men coming in jail and then going right back to jail after they get out of jail. So this class is designed for young men and older men, because we're going to break that cycle. Because in order for us to develop empowerment and success, if we're going to have that real development, if we're going to have real male development, we got to break that cycle of incarceration. Number 9, keeping it real doesn't mean keeping it stupid. And in this class, we get along. We get as they say, we get silly with it, but we get into issues that's right now. What we call keeping it real is basically America looking at us and say, y'all some stupid, ignorant fools. And so I'm very blunt in this class, and maybe some things that you might not be able to accept, and you can challenge me on them, but I will challenge you back as you sit in the class to say, is that really keeping it real? You know, is being, you know, thuggish, is all that really keeping it real, or we just keeping it stupid? Because half the time we trying to get somewhere and can't get there because we taking a bunch of baggage of stupidness with us, and we can't do that. Number 10, find a job in 30 days or less. This is a guaranteed fireproof method. I'm just going in there. You just make sure you make it to this class if you don't have a job. There is no reason why you should be unemployed. I can find you a job in 30 days or less, guaranteed. I'm good at it, but you have to follow my process. Most people stop out in day number 6. No, follow the process. You'll find a job in 30 days or less, and by the end of this class, you will be unemployed. Number 11, understand the purpose of systematic education. I love this one because it takes you to the roots of your educational failures or success. I say this very briefly in highlighting this particular aspect of the class. In kindergarten and elementary school, black males are usually at the front of the line 2 times, at lunch and recess. They're never at the front of the line when it goes to assemblies. They're never at the front of the line when it goes to the libraries. They're never at the front of the line of anything educational. They're only at the front of the line for lunch and recess, sport and play. I end that right there. You just come to the class and get the rest of that systematic education. And number 12, the 12th step. And the 12th step deals with why I do this. The 12th step is, am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. I'm dedicated to this mission. Once you enter the 12 steps, if you've completed the 11, your job now is to pass the information you've learned on to another brother and help guide him to the process of resurrection and empowerment and development. I want you all to tune in the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned with me. Follow me on No Covers at YouTube. My email is nocovers@gmail, and that's 2 O's, no, N-O-O, covers@gmail.com. You can inbox me there if you have questions prior to the classes, and there will be sign-up information coming soon for you to participate in. Once again, peace and love. This is your brother No Covers coming to you real soon with the 12 steps to African American male development and empowerment. Peace and love.